2010. The Trinity Shamrocks were on top of the wrestling world in Kentucky. Our guest here today, he was one of the Shamrocks leading the charge. Sir, if you would, tell us who you are.
Myron Bradbury.
Of course, two-time state champion, 2,912 pound, 2010 119-pound state champion, a member of the 2009 and 2010 Trinity State Championship teams. Of course, this is your 2010 119-pound review video. And before we proceed on, I guess the lead-off question we hit everybody with is, how do you find wrestling, man? What gets you into it?
My oldest brother. He was playing football and he weighed like 80 pounds or something in the eighth grade, and I was proportionately smaller in the third grade. Uh, so when he got into it, I think the principal was the wrestling coach and he wanted to play football, and the principal suggested wrestling. So he came home and said, "Hey, I want to wrestle." And I heard my older brother say he wanted to wrestle, and I was thinking WWE.
Yep.
So I chimed in and said, "I want to wrestle too." And my dad liked it and found some youth tournaments, and that's how it kicked off.
Man, that's so many people have said something exactly to that effect. That Big Brother, um, somebody in their neighborhood, uncle, dad, grandpa wrestled, and they, thought that, oh, you were in the WWF. Wow, did you wrestle Hulk Hogan? What was it like at WrestleMania? So it's cool, man, that you was able to get started early, and of course, the starting early nowadays, and to the kids watching this that's in high school, middle school, whatever, it wasn't always like it is now. This is the 21st of July 2025, kind of date ourselves. We always didn't used to have the having to rent out Freedom Hall and these big arenas around the state for youth state, middle school state. Very few teams had middle school programs. Very even fewer had elementary and like club teams. So if you're a part of that, be grateful that you're getting into the sport early, because I'm not saying you can't get into high school wrestling now and be successful, or at least enjoy it. But if you truly want to compete at a state championship level, even trying to place the high school state tournament, you really, really, really need to get into it as early as you can. Don't feel discouraged if you started late, but the sport in Kentucky and across the nation has grown so much that if you don't get a start, I mean, you might be able to compete, get a few wins, but the talent and the coaching and getting to go to off-season tournaments has just risen so much over a short time that Kentucky really is just it's turning into a really, really, really respectable wrestling state in our nation. So you start off wrestling. Now, did you go through the Trinity feeder program? Did you kind of transition into Trinity? How did it go for you?
Somewhat. I think the first like club I wrestled for, I had to wrestle because, like you just said, youth and elementary and middle school wasn't around a whole lot. You really had to get in where you fit in, and my dad hustled a lot to get us to available places, especially because we were small and young too.
Mm.
Um, so I wrestled on the JV team for the high school for whenever we could. Uh, and then Noax had a club, Fort Knox had a club. We wrestled and kind of started there for my club days. And then we migrated over to LaRue County. My dad's from LaRue County, and they had a strong middle school program going at the time. And after 1 year with them, the great legendary Mark Hitchings invited me to come wrestle with him at Fern Creek when I was in seventh grade. Uh, he said that he had an open weight class that was, where I was sitting at, and a lot of great partners around, and that was too hard to turn down. So, uh, stroke of luck, I got into that program, and it fit well, and my dad was able to get me up there, and that's how it started. After seventh grade years, Fern Creek, he went over to Trinity, I think, that's where his boys were going to high school. And so I remember sitting at the banquet. He announced that he was going to Trinity, and he wouldn't be at Fern Creek next year, and whoever wanted to come could come. And we all sitting at the table and looked at each other and was like, "Well, are y'all going?" And they all said yes. And I was about the only one. I was like, "Dad, can I go?" Uh, So that's how I ended up at Trinity, and then at high school is the same way. Everyone was going to go to high school there, and the coaches were asking me, and I didn't know about private and jurisdiction and all that, uh, if that's the right word. But
Yeah, that's correct.
yeah, so I didn't know how that worked, and it turns out private schools don't have one, and you can commute if you want. So again, I asked, and we made it work, and that's how I ended up there.
And man, correct me if I'm wrong. Memory serves. It was called. Is it the Fern Creek Optimus? Is that
Yep.
correct? Okay,
Yep.
because I know we done. Of course, you mentioned Mark, 1981 state champion from Fern Creek. We did his review video there in his palace, if you will, there in the basement. Then we
Yeah.
done his sons Brad and Brent Hitchings done their review videos there in the exact same spot. And I believe Brad, Brent, and Mark all three mentioned how that Fern Creek Optimus program kind of propelled Trinity to the '09 and 2010. Everybody that kind of come over team state championship, and then of course Mark, after Brad and Brent graduated, went back to Fern Creek and turned them into a state championship team in 2015. So Mark Hitchings, man,
Yeah.
he's done a lot for the sport of wrestling there in the city. I mean, he really has.
I can't say enough good things about him. I think he's the best coach in the history of Kentucky wrestling. Uh, because of what you just said, what he was able to do at Fern Creek in the time he was there, what
Mhm.
he was able to put together and bring to Trinity, and there was other coaches there. I don't want to take that away from them. It was a lot of a big coaching staff that all had a hand in it.
Mhm.
But Mark and Brad and Brent, they were definitely the glue behind it all. And then what Mark did at the high school when he was done at Trinity is just
Yeah.
he's
Now,
he's incredible.
oh yeah, now I believe Trinity during your run, of course, had a head coach. Rest in peace to Richard Brown. We did his memorial video. I believe Eddie Rudolph was there. Ron Coleman. I believe Coach Ken Ellenbrand was still around. I'm sure there's probably a couple names that I'm leaving off, but we know those guys were there, still active in the Trinity. That's the thing about Trinity, man. And I hate. Can I say St. Xavier on here too? Because the as many videos as I've done for Trinity and St. Xavier, no matter if Trinity's having a state championship contending year or a couple individual contenders or they're down, or St. Xavier same way, is the people that were around that program. They'll come to state duels. They'll come to the state tournament. They'll come, and it just feels like it's. I guess everybody kind of in a sense, but Trinity and St. Xavier, they just kind of have that. Everybody kind of knows everybody feel. You know what I mean? Whether, like I
Yeah.
said, whether they're on top of the mountain or don't have anybody that places, that you can just tell like these people have been around this program for a while and they want to see it succeed. Does that feel kind of fair as an outsider looking in?
Yes, I'll give credit to that to the parents. I know when we were there, the parents were great. We had an incredible amount of support from all the parents that were there. I'll leave it at that.
Fair
Getting
enough.
lost for words there, but they were absolutely great, and they supported us everywhere we went.
I got you, man. Now let's talk about Trinity's history. Of course, as of this filming, three team state championships, 1989. One of the very rare teams that won the team title but didn't have a individual state champion. As we're joined by what's our buddy's name here?
Junior.
Hi, Junior. You're now the
All right.
star of the video. Of course, 1989, one of the rare teams in Kentucky that didn't have an individual state champion. Trinity won the team title. Of course, 2009 and 2010 in your era, you were a big part of that. As of this filming, 42 individual state champions. I believe that's currently third place overall behind Union County and Woodford County. So pretty elite company there. And the Larry Gibson, 1980 most outstanding wrestler, and a teammate of yours we're trying to get up with, John Fahey, four-time state champion, 2012 most outstanding. But let's talk about your state tournament run. 2007, man, you're in the finals against a fellow Louisvillian, I believe Elliot Martin from Seneca. And Of course, like I said, freshman. I'd have to imagine being from Louisville, you've wrestled Elliott before this. Is that fair?
I think I lost to Elliott 4 times that year.
Oh, did you really?
Yep.
And of
Yeah,
course,
we had run into each other.
uh, I believe it was a 5-0 decision there in the 2007 finals. If you
Yep.
have the 2007 finals, that's one of the videos we have not been able to locate yet. So please, if you have it, contact myself or Myron, and you can mail it to me. I'll convert it for you for free. We just want the footage. We just want for our collection. 2008, man, you run into that daggone Jarvis Elam from Union County and meet up with him in the semis. And I believe he wins a 5-4. I've got this massive whiteboard here of notes. So if you guys see me look down, that's what I'm looking at. But we done Jarvis's 2008 review video, doing great things out there at Union County, turned them into one of the just absolute dominant programs, not just in wrestling, but of Kentucky high school sports. And I think besides, there's been a couple like Trinity football, St. Xavier football, Highlands football, kind of the sports people don't know about. St. Xavier swimming is by far the best overall sport that's been dominated by a certain team, but Union County has kind of owned it the last, I would say, 18, 17 years, 2007 forward. But you run into Jarvis. Do you remember much about that match?
Yeah, too much.
Okay, fair enough.
My freshman year, I think Jarvis mentioned it in his video. He was my nemesis. We're good friends now, but at the time, he was my nemesis. Freshman year, beat him in 3 extremely close matches. 3 out of 3. Sophomore year, he beat me in 3 out of 3 extremely close matches. That semifinals being one of them.
Oh man, the 5-4, was it just what, an escape, or remember like how the scoring went?
I don't know. I think he took me down first, and so I was down initially and having to come back, and could never get quite back. It was 5-3 in the third, and I was in deep on a takedown, and we went out of bounds. And I was fortunate enough to get a flea in the mat call, but when I got in on that shot, there was only like 20 seconds left, and by the time the flurry ended and I got my point, there was like 3 seconds left back when we lined up. So he got away with that one.
2009 state champion, 112 pounds. We do not currently have the digital footage. You have the video. It's just getting it to me, mailing it, however you get it to me. And as soon as we get it, believe me, we will do your 2000 fans watching, the Trinity crowd. We know that Myron is one of your favorite sons. We want to get as many Trinity videos on the channel as we can just to document the history. But let's talk about your 2009 run. You start off the state tournament with a 2-minute and 20-second fall over Jacob Pinnock of Cooper. That's out of Northern Kentucky. The second round, you get a 4-minute and 32-second fall over Dakota Kinser at Letcher County Central. In the quarters, you wrestled Justin Thompson from LaRue County. You win that by a fall, 1 minute, 14 seconds. Goes on to get 5th place that year, Justin does. In the semis, you win a 1 minute, 47-second fall over Robert Ankrum of Johnson Central. He would go on to get 6th. And in the finals, you would wrestle Luke Troxel from Wayne County. You would win that by a 7-0 decision. And I'm not sure if you know, but Luke passed away on us a couple years ago. So rest in peace to Luke and all of his family and friends, everybody at Wayne County. So that run, man, 4 falls, pretty decisive victory there in the finals. I would say being in the finals as a freshman, coming up ever so short to your arch nemesis, your kryptonite, if you will, when you got back in that mat room as a junior, you had to be like, I can't leave the dungeon without that daggone gold medal, right?
That's exactly what I thought. It was, yes, emotionally, mentally, it was painful. Yeah, I wanted that one bad.
I can understand. Now, also, like we said, you were a member of that 2009 Trinity State Championship team. Let's talk about it real quick. Your 103 that year, of course, was John Fahey, the first of his four state championships. Of course, you at 112, Brent Hitchings at 119 come in eighth. 125 was Sean Gillespie, he come in seventh. Your 130 was Brandon Burke. 135 was Matt Matheny. Our buddy Grant Ullman, 145, he come in second to, I believe it was Dusty Brown from Campbell County. 152 was Aaron McCauley. 160 was Cooper Bone. 171 was Brad Hitchings, state champion. Of course, Brad's 09 and 10 videos on the channel. 189 was Josh Lewis. He come in third. Your 215 was brought, I believe is it Messing? Is that
Messina.
correct? Messina. Okay. Brought Messina come in sixth. And then your heavyweight was Jordan Whiting. He come in third. So, man, just an absolutely dominant performance. And you guys kind of ran away with it. Of course, you guys scored 222 team points in 2009. The next closest team was Union County at 182. So, man, you guys were just far the better team that year, right?
Yes, without trying to be rude or anything, but yeah, it was a lot of fun that year. Yeah, absolutely.
And man, there's nothing wrong with saying, "Yep, we put the work in. We knew we were better." I mean, that's something that I like when I interview people, whether in person or whatever. Is if you put in the off-season work, the weight room work, you and your guys done tournaments in the off-season, you knew coming in, ain't nobody can touch us. That's not bragging. That's just stating facts, Your Honor. That is evidence that the jury needs to consider that this wrestling doesn't happen by accident. You don't just become a state champion by accident. You just don't have a good team by accident. And if you make fun of a team maybe less fortunate, okay, I'm like, hey, now come on, what are we doing? But if you guys put the work in, absolutely. Wear that ring with pride. Wear that Letterman jacket with pride. Go to your alumni events or state tournament with pride and say, maybe not now, but at one time, Dad could do it. You know what I mean? Like as George King is famously quoted on the series.
At the 112-pound weight class from Trinity, a junior with a record of 38-4, ranked number 1 in the state, Myron Bradbury. From Johnson Central, a senior with a record of 38-2, ranked number 2 in the state, Luke Troxel.
But 2010, though, man, this is your year. The video that we have, as soon as we get to 09, we're going to do it. 119 pounds as a senior. Now, before we start this one, being a leader. Now, the Trinity mat room, we've got to go there, I think, 2 times. We done Alex Ray's video, Richard Brown's memorial, and then we done George Faree's 2022 and 23. So we've been there twice. Did you guys have the same mat room there above, like in that upper level by the football field in your era?
Yes. I think it's changed a little bit, but not much. I think it's pretty much the same.
Is it the same building, I should say?
Yeah. The upstairs of that auxiliary building.
The Marshall, is that right? The TW Marshall?
That's right.
Okay. I try to remember these things. So many places kind of run together. I want to make sure I get my information correct. It's a beautiful, beautiful facility there you guys have. Got the, of course, you have your own banner up. I believe all the 2-time and more state champions have your own. You guys will, of course, see photos of all that. But coming in as a senior, you've got you as a senior, Hitchings as a senior, Grant as a senior. You guys just kind of just run practice yourself and be like, anybody slacking, you call them out on it. How's it go knowing you guys can repeat?
We had like I said, we had a very large and active and involved coaching staff. They allowed us to be like team captains and have some voice that way, but no, they were very much in control, and we were, I would say we were disciplined to them, like in a good way. they ran the show, and we kind of just echoed what they wanted.
I
We
got
were
you.
very, very fortunate with our coaching staff. So no, that they had it under wraps the whole time. Props to
I
them on
got
that.
you. And you see documentaries like, of course, professional football, basketball, that's a whole different, you when you're getting paid millions of dollars to play your sport, you break down all that kind of stuff, uh, wide receiver room, cornerback room, kicking room, whatever. But you've always got like Super Bowl teams that come back from a halftime deficit or whatever. Is they'll say that the leaders on defensive line or linebackers, whatever, coaches, get out of here. We got to have, they'll throw helmets and water jugs and shoulder pads and punch people. They come out, defense comes out in the second half and just annihilates people. And sometimes, man, having that senior leadership of, we're not going to squander this. You know what I mean? We're not going to be the team that is known for not repeating. The talent that we have, we're going to make sure we're doing our part, right?
Yeah, that was there. We had our camaraderie between us seniors too. Like that was strong. Uh, we knew what our goals were, and coaches knew what their goals were, and the rest of the team knew it too. And yes, we did our part to instill that every chance we could. Yeah.
I got you. Now, before we talk about your bracket, let's talk about your 2010 team. Of course, you guys win it again, 232 points. Ryle come in second with 204, and got a lot of friends at Ryle. A lot of respect for the guys there, especially on that team. We done Austin Palmer's video, Michael Osborne, of course, Darren Thomas, Coach Rochelle, TJ, all that, Kyle, everybody up there, friends with. A lot of respect for them. But that 2010 year, they thought that was the year. They thought this is our year that we're going to win the team title, and it kind of still lingers just a little bit. Everyone we've done a video with from Ryle, you can tell, man, they thought that 2010 was going to be their year. I mean, they really did. Like I said, 232 to 204. I believe Ryle had two state champions that year, Michael Osborne and Austin. I think they had maybe a couple other people in the finals. Well, they had at least one more person, as you guys will find out here in the finals, but I think maybe one more. I
Did
could be wrong
Hitchens
about that.
wrestle? Did Hitchens wrestle a Ryle guy in the finals?
I think that was '09.
Okay,
It may have been 10. It kind of
I
runs
can't
together.
remember.
Yeah. Of course, you're 112 that year. Fahey, his second and four. Of course, you at 119. 125, Brandon Burke got fifth. 130, Brent Hitchings got fifth. Grant Ullman, 145, state champion. Aaron McCauley, 160, come in second. Brad Hitchings, 171, come in first. Brendan Darrow come in second, 215. And Will Flynn come in fifth. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wrestlers you guys brought, and all 9 placed with 1, 2, 3, with 4 state champions, man. So that's a heck of a lineup. You know what I mean? To come in and be able to do that. Well, let's talk about your state tournament run. You start off the state tournament with a fall over Nathaniel Long of South Oldham. I believe 28 seconds, I believe, is what I have wrote down. The second round, you wrestled Dylan Pike from Meade County, win that by a fall, 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Your quarters, you wrestled Robert Bracco from Woodford County. You win that by a 10-4 decision. Robert would come in third. You get to the semis, you're wrestling Tyler, I believe it's Kalen from Oldham County. You win that by a 13-3 major decision. He would come in sixth. And then in the finals, wait for it, you're wrestling some guy named Mark Hall from Ryle.
Yep.
Now, before we talk about that, I believe you mentioned Mark Hitchings earlier. You're coming into the state finals with a 37-3 record. And he was adamant to bring up that one of your 3 was to Mark.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah, we split that year.
Okay.
Raider Rumble, at Ryle. I beat him, I think 7-5. And then at Dragon Invite, he beat me in double overtime, triple overtime, whatever that sudden death, the 30-second top bottom. If that'd
Yep.
be triple or double, rules were different. I can't remember back then, but
Yeah.
yeah, he beat me in that one. He rode me out.
And when Mark was, telling me the story, uh, I guess after, because the Dragon is usually kind of right later in the year, pretty close to the regional tournament time. And said every time he'd like pass by, you guys were doing drills around Robbins or whatever, he'd go, a seventh grader, and walk
Yeah.
off. And I was like,
Yep.
whenever we do his video, I'll make sure to bring that part up. So
Yep.
yeah,
That's right.
he uh, when you see that side, when you see the bracket come out online or however, I guess it was online back then in 2010. When you see that, do you kind of like go through the names and you're like, all right, it's going to be me and Mark again in the finals. Is that fair, or did you do that, or?
I mean, of course, that's a cardinal sin. So no, you don't do that. You go one at a time. But yes, it's absolutely there. You're definitely thinking about it. You're playing the whole thing out too. I mean, you know who wrestles who in Kentucky. You know who is who, and so almost everybody has seen each other or had common opponents, and you can kind of play it out.
Yeah.
There's always differences. There's always upsets, but yes. And like I said, that's a cardinal sin. So no, I didn't do that. But yes.
I mean, I completely understand. Take it one at a time. I get it. But come on, you looked at the bracket. You
Yeah.
did. Come on. Don't even try to tell us you didn't. Now, you win that semifinals match. You're back in the finals third time in 4 years. All four of you guys well, I think, is it four or five? Let's see. One, two, three, four. So you've actually got six in the finals that year. And back we were at the dungeon then, and we've heard the stories about guys getting, going to back to their hotel room, or going. If they lived like in Woodford County or Fayette County or whatever, they'd go back home as soon as they wrestled, take a nap, whatever. All six of you guys, did you go back to your rooms? What did you do after the semifinals until it was time to start warming up?
I think you do as much team support as you can. Like I know we didn't go right back, but yes, we did go back. You take your shoes off, go back and relax. Yeah, absolutely. You get some time in the hotel room, decompress, calm down, whatever, physical relaxation. Yeah.
That is something that now at the horse park you really can't do, because the closest hotel, you got to get back on the interstate or go down whatever that name of that Ironworks Pike or whatever it is. You're probably 15, 20 minutes away at the shortest if you can get a room there to go back to your room. So people just kind of stay, and it moves a little bit quicker too at the horse park. But at the dungeon, man, so many guys have said they would go straight back to their room, or like somebody's house that they knew or whatever. And it's just a different dynamic being able, like I said, go kind of maybe take a shower, get something to eat, not get away from the noise. You know what I mean? Just get
Yeah.
out of that arena for a while. Because if you never got to attend the dungeon, you can't explain it here. I wish you could, but as soon as you walked in, whether it was for weigh-ins or the finals, you could just feel the tension. You know what I mean? It was
Yeah.
just like you knew something big was going to happen. You could just feel it, like a pressure cooker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, has it been a while since you've seen your 2010 video?
Yeah, it's been a little bit. It always gets brought up. I've seen it more than once, but yeah, it's been a while now.
I got you. And I've used it. I've the ending of the don't say what it is, but I've used the ending of what you do here at the end in a couple of my highlight videos for the state tournament, because it's such a great visual. When we get to that bridge, we'll talk about it. But man, excuse me. When we get to that part, we'll bring it up. But this video has the match, the medal ceremony for individual awards, and the Trinity team trophy. So, man, enough talking about it. There you are, 37-3 versus 42-2. Of course, it should be said, yes, this is the same Mark Hall that went on to Penn State and become an NCAA champion, moved back to Minnesota, become a 6-time state champion up there at Apple Valley, the same high school Gable Stevenson went to. Mark moved to Kentucky because in Minnesota, middle school wrestlers could not compete in high school. I don't exactly know how he ended up at Ryle, but he did. And you were able to get back here to have the tiebreaker with him, if you will, man. So I'm excited to get it going. Let's do it. Turn down the volume a little bit here. All right, man. Of course, you're in the green singlet.
Yep.
You got Jim Shaw as the official.
Yep.
All right, so having wrestled him before, splitting 1-1, did you kind of know what to stay away from with him? Had you kind of game planned of what to attack on him, or how did it go?
The only game plan really was just to be extremely offensive and aggressive. He was extremely strong. Like physically, he was outrageously strong. So I just kind of the real only game plan was he had a great high crotch. He had great high crotch defense. He was good on top. So that was the focus, was get away, which I didn't in this match. He cut me. But yeah, just get on his head, get after him. Don't give him no easy breaks. That's kind of really the only thing going in my head was keep position and stay on him.
I got you.
I knew there would be opportunities to get to his legs, but that was about the only other afterthought.
Now, I believe over there in your corner, I saw Coach Richard Brown. Is that who's that with him?
Brendan Fahey.
Okay.
That was kind of my go-to shot on that elbow to a high crotch there, but he had great high crotch defense.
And as this match progresses, if you didn't know he was a 7th grader, you would never in a million years think he was a 7th grader.
No, he was so much stronger than me, and he felt heavier than me too. So this is where, I mean, he's really good right here. I knew there was only a couple things I could do, was just keep him in certain positions and put myself in certain places, like his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely try and get his shoulder out. And I was comfortable there, but he was just as comfortable. And then here I'm just thinking short time, don't give up and escape.
And the video was cut that way whenever I got it, so I did not edit out the disc flip. So did you take down here?
I think I can't remember if he deferred or if I chose down. Usually we deferred, so he must have deferred to us and we chose down.
I got you. Now on the bottom here, first time we've got to see you on the bottom, did you know, hey, this is his bread and butter breakdown, or this is his bread and butter turn?
I can't remember exactly. I just know he was super strong and heavy.
Mm-hmm.
He would stay on your wrist real good. I just remember trying to get out. He was tough. He was tough to hand fight and get away from.
Okay.
I was just super focused on getting on my feet and clearing his hands, and that was tough to do.
And man, talking about clearing hands, that is something, the scrambling aspect of wrestling has kind of taken away the hand control aspect of it. Youngsters, if you're watching this, hand control. I can't stress that enough for you, especially on the bottom. If you're down, hand control. Now, he cut you right here. Were you kind of expecting that, or what was the thought there of him cutting you?
No, but I was super grateful because I was working real hard. I was happy when he let me up. And you'll get to see here, he's just tough to score on right there. Like, I got in pretty deep, but he's good. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, absolutely. You can hear the Trinity crowd start yelling for you.
Yeah. They were great support.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. 6 in the finals, my goodness. It might as well have been the Trinity Invitational this year.
It was a big – we worked really hard for that. We had a big rally point after Dragon Invite.
Like I said, man, winning a wrestling tournament as a team, especially the team state championship and being on top of that podium, it doesn't happen by accident. So if you earned it, absolutely be proud. Excellent job there, but man, he defended that so well.
He would, yeah. That little ducking my head under his leg, I took that from him.
Oh, did you really?
Yes, he did that to me to keep me from scoring in my high crotch or whatever the situation would be. Yeah. In my crackdown, he did that to me.
Now, Shaw caused a stalemate there. No takedown given. We actually did the first officials review video we did for the series was this match with Jim Shaw there in his office in LaRue County. He does an excellent job on his explanations. After this, go back and check that out, fans. All right.
I always liked having Jimmy as an official. He called it very by the book.
Yeah. Yeah, Jim's a great ref, man. Him and Chris both.
Yeah.
So he takes neutral again. When he takes neutral, is it in the back of your head, okay, he must see something that he can capitalize on towards me?
No. I was pretty good on top, and I knew when he took neutral, he just didn't want to go underneath.
Okay.
Several people had done that, and I knew that's what he was doing, and he's very capable of scoring. I mean, I think he does score a takedown. So I just knew what he was up to there. I just knew I had to keep wrestling as hard as I could because he was after it. If I was my own coach right there, I'd be pretty upset if I didn't score that. But I don't think I do.
Yep, good memory. So we got about 55 seconds left here in the match. You can't let up on him at all.
No, not at all. Sometimes it's hard to stay focused in those moments because you know you got short time, but like that one was so high stakes it made it a little easier, but I was still kind of going back and forth in that too, like antsy to get it over with, but knowing you still got a whole minute left to go. You get taken down right there, and he cuts you immediately. Yeah.
Wanting to tie it back up or maybe even try for like some type of a near fall situation. So
yeah,
when you kind of look up at the score, all right, I can't do this again. You know what I mean? I can't.
When I went out of bounds right there, Brendan Fahey yelled as loud as he could, 28 seconds,
I,
to remind me of what the situation was. But I felt pretty confident, believe it or not, when he cut me. I didn't feel like he was going to take me down at all. But he's good, and he did. So believe it or not, I wasn't too uncomfortable when he did.
yeah. There it is, man. Now, here we go. Throw the headgear down. Coach Brown picks it up. Throws it back to you. Turn to the crowd. Jimmy's trying to calm you down there. Just say, hey, man, come on, let's take it easy.
Yeah, that was a heated moment.
I believe it. Now, you're good show of sportsmanship there, talking to him as you walk off. But, man, that headgear toss, Brad Brent, man, as soon as it was like, that's exactly how we remember it, man. That's it. And, of course, here's the medal ceremony.
Seventh place, Scott Richie
Soupy was a tough wrestler, too. I ran into him a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
Sixth place, Podium County, Tyler Palin.
And you wrestled Tyler here?
Yeah. I wrestled Tyler twice that year. He was also tough.
Will Bryant, Lafayette. I believe Coach McCoy there, he was a coach at Lafayette then, I think.
Yeah.
There's Robert from Woodford County getting his third place medal. I believe that's Coach Van Camper giving him his medal, legendary Kentucky coach. There's Mark getting his medal by Coach Padilla, legendary Connor coach. And here you come, Commissioner DeVries giving you your plaque there, your bracket, and your medal.
Yeah, it was a good feeling that year.
Oh, I guarantee it was, man. And here's the team trophy presentation.
That was a good feeling, too. We worked hard for that one. Ryle beat our butts at twice that year. Made a rumble and a dragon fight.
Now, there's going to be a wrestler that comes in here kind of helped by his buddies. Who is that's injured?
I think that's Aaron McCauley.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Aaron McCauley.
160?
There you go.
Yes.
Okay.
Good job, guys!
I was trying to get Brad to hold the trophy with me.
A couple guys go down the front if y'all want. Okay, there you go. Good. There you go. Fantastic.
Here comes Coach, I believe, Ken Ellenbrand there. Walking
Yes.
over.
Great coach.
Here we go.
I see Ron in there.
All right, here we go, gentlemen. Let's go. Hold on, we got some more. Oh, yeah.
America's Most Wanted.
All right, here we go.
That's where the 2010 video ends, man. So excellent performance there in the finals. I mean, you had to be on your toes. You had to be on your game, or Mark would have beat you. No other way to say it. I mean,
Yeah.
no other.
Absolutely.
All 6 minutes of the bout, you had to be on it, and you were. So watching it back after all this, who knows how many years it's been, but does the flow and like the scoring and all that kind of play out the way you have remembered it all these years?
Yeah, pretty much. I remember that one pretty well. And I've seen it more than once. Yeah, yes.
I got you, man. Of course, climbing to the top of that podium for the second time and getting your 2010 state championship medal and then that 2010 team state championship trophy. And if you haven't been following me over the past couple months, I've been displaying the team state championship rings from all the years that we could possibly get. The earliest that we have is 1986. We have all three Trinities. The 89, you guys will see photos of them. 1989, 2009, 2010. Just a great representation for a job well done. Is that state championship ring you can have forever, man, and be able to let the world know, hey, man, we don't want to live in the past, but it's great to be able to look back and remind ourselves, I know what I'm capable of. I know what my best is. You know what I mean? I was able to get on top of that podium twice as an individual, lead my team to that big state championship trophy in life. If I can do it on the wrestling mat, I can do it in other ventures, right?
Absolutely. I think about that often, even at the age I am now. That corny Dan Gable quote was true. Once you've wrestled, everything else is easy. I mean, not exactly, but yes, you can use what you learned in wrestling in anything.
That was we got to the earliest state champion that we have on the series. He was a two-time state champion from Seneca named Dean Williams Sr. He placed, of course, our first state championship year in the KHSAA was 1964. He got third in 64. He was a 1965 and 1966 state champion. His son, Dean Williams Jr., state champion at Seneca in 98. But Dean Sr. had all three of his medals. He had his 64 third place, his 65 and 66 championship medals. And when he brought them out, he's like, they were in perfect condition. No stains. The little latch, like it wasn't like a medal. It was like a military. You guys will see photos, like a military ribbon. And the little latch worked perfect. I mean, you could tell all this time later of everything people do in life, those three little pieces of fabric and engraved metal still meant something all these years later. And I was like, man, what a piece of history to have. And that's what so many people get out of, start a family, go to military college, whatever life takes them. And they do a review video with me or multiple. If they're multiple time state champion, we have their videos. And it always kind of comes back to, man, I just didn't appreciate what I had when I had it. You know what I mean? I wish I could have just kind of, what the old saying, stopped and smelled the roses a little bit more than what I did, because I just wanted to get on to the next thing in life and didn't realize how good I had it when I was, having to cut weight or going on a bus trip with my buddies or standing on top of the podium. And now, want to get my son there, want to get my daughter there, whoever coaching the youth team. I just want to have them have the same feelings, man. And before we go any farther, I do want to say, give a little bit about Mark. Of course, 2017, 174-pound national champion at Penn State, NCAA Division I. He was in the 2018 and 2019 174-pound national championship match, but he got beat by Zahid Valencia of Arizona State. And, of course, 2020, the COVID year, wasn't able to compete. Multiple-time world team, national, all that kind of stuff. Moved back to Minnesota, repeated 7th grade, became a 6-time state champion at Apple Valley. So, man, you were able to beat one of the best. Most people consider Mark to be the best Minnesota high school wrestler ever. It's either him or Gable Steveson. Two pretty legendary names in the world of wrestling. And you were able to do it, man. You were able to get the job done. And like I said, if you didn't know he was a 7th grader, you would have never in a million years imagined it, right?
No, not at all. If you wouldn't have told me, no, I thought he would be a junior or senior.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, my man, been a long time trying to get up with you. I'm glad we was able to finally get this one done. And like we said, you feel pretty confident you have the 09 video. So as soon as we get it, I guess you're able to find it. We'll get it, convert it for you. We'll do your '09 video. But like I said, man, I'm glad to get this one done. There's a few Trinity guys out there we'd love to get with. John Fahey, man, if you're watching this, Tyler Frankrone, a couple other guys in the late 20 teens. We'd love to get with you and get your video on the channel. So reach out to myself or Myron. We can get you lined up. Love to have you. Man, is there anything else before we wrap this one up that we haven't covered that you want to like to say or add, take away, anything like that?
No, I don't think so. Just I want to mention clearly Coach Ellenbrand and Coach Coleman and Coach Rudolph. Just make sure they don't feel slighted. They were major, major components, and definitely my practice partners and the Hitchings and Fahey and even Aaron McCauley and Grant Ullman. Just was a real good team atmosphere, and I want to make sure they get all the shout out there.
Oh, yeah, man, absolutely. Of course, Grant, when we were still doing kind of traveling, we still travel, don't get that twisted, but Zoom has made the world a whole lot smaller for everybody. I got to come to Grant's house, meet his wife and his daughter there, but man, he made us some ribs, and I was like, this is the way it should be, man. This is what, thank you, Grant Ullman, and we had some delicious. And have you seen Grant's video?
Yes, I watched it.
Okay, because as soon as we get it in person, it takes a little bit of time to get the camera moved for to watch it like on television, or we set up a monitor or whatever. And Grant, he stands up the whole time. He stands up, arms crossed. He's he's trying to wrestle it there behind the chair we've got set up. So it was cool to get that one in person, because he was just so into it, man. After being there in 2009, coming up short there in the finals, and he was able to get on top and be a senior leader there on that. But man, thank you for doing this. I really, really appreciate it. It's going to be great to get this one on the channel. And like we said, there's a couple years that if you have the video of that we don't, please send it to me. 1980, 1984, 1990, 93, 01, 06, 07, 09, 16, and 19. Those are the years that we feel pretty confident are in existence. We know that the 70s, we haven't found any video for the 70s. We've only found one video of the 60s, so we're kind of focusing our efforts on those years that I just mentioned. If you have those, please reach out to me. No matter what format they're on, VHS, VHSC, DVD, whatever, we can get them converted to digital. We just got to know that they're out there, because we just want to be able to tell more stories like Myron's and let the world see, hey, Kentucky, we can compete with anybody on the wrestling map. There's been great wrestling in Kentucky for a very long time. It's just been hid for far too long. And Myron was able to make that statement, hey, what's up, Minnesota? You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, Alex. It was a lot of fun. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Guys, thank you all for watching. We will see you guys and girls on the mats.